over 60. Eat these 7 cheap high-protein foods to build muscle fast. Hello, my friends. This is Dr. William Johnson, and I want to welcome you back to Lifewell Seniors, where we share senior wellness tips that help you stay strong, independent, and full of life. Before we get into today's important topic, let me ask you something. How have you been feeling lately? Do you notice it is harder to stand up from a chair than it used to be? Do you feel your arms or legs getting weaker, even though you have not changed your daily routine? If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. Many of my patients, men and women over 60, tell me the same thing. They say, "Doctor, I do not understand. I am eating, I am walking, but I feel weaker every year." I want you to know, it is not just you. This is something we doctors expect to see after a certain age. And it even has a medical name, sarcopenia. Sarcopenia means the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength. It can start as early as age 50. Research shows that without the right nutrition and activity, older adults can lose between 1 and 2% of their muscle each year. By the time you are in your 80s, that can add up to a loss of 30% of your strength. That is not just a number on paper that can be the difference between walking confidently or needing a cane, between living independently or relying on someone else for daily tasks. Now here is the good news. You can slow this process down. In some cases, you can even reverse it, and you do not have to spend a fortune on protein powders, premium meats, or fancy supplements. In fact, some of the best foods for building muscle are sitting quietly on the lower shelves of your local grocery store, with no big advertisements and no celebrity endorsements. In this episode, I will walk you through 7 affordable, high-protein foods that are perfect for people over 60 who want to build muscle fast. These are not only easy to find in the United States, they are also easy to prepare, and they taste good. Each one is backed by solid scientific research, and I will show you how to make the most of them in your own kitchen. By the end of this episode, you will have a clear, step-by-step plan to increase your protein intake, preserve your strength, and protect your independence without overspending. And I promise you, the number one food on our list costs less than 50 cents per serving and can deliver more usable protein than many supplements that cost 20 times as much. Before we dive in, I have a small request. If you are watching this and you want more senior wellness tips from a doctor who has worked with thousands of older adults here in America, please subscribe to Lifewell Seniors and turn on the notification bell. That way, you will never miss a tip that could make a real difference in your health. Now, let us make this a two-way conversation. Please take a moment right now and share in the comments one thing you have done this week to take care of your health. Maybe you took an extra walk. Maybe you cooked a healthy meal at home. Your ideas can inspire someone else who is watching today. We are going to start with a quick look at why protein is so important for older adults, and why the amount and quality of protein you eat matters more after 60 than at any other time in your life. Understanding this will help you see why these 7 foods are so powerful. So grab a notebook or just listen closely and let us get started. You are a very special person for staying with me until this point. I truly mean that. Thank you for giving me your time and your trust. Because you are here, I am going to share some insights that very few people know, and even fewer actually put into practice. Now, before we talk about the 7 foods, I want you to understand why protein is so powerful for people over 60. I have seen this again and again with my patients over the last 30 years here in the United States. When someone understands the why behind a change, they are more likely to stick with it and see results. Let us start with this simple truth. Protein is the building block of muscle. Every movement you make getting out of bed, lifting a grocery bag, even standing up from a chair depends on your muscles. And muscles depend on protein. When you are young, your body is very efficient at taking the protein from your food and turning it into muscle tissue. But after about age 60, something changes. We call this anabolic resistance. It means your body is not as responsive to protein as it used to be. You eat the same amount you did at 40, but your muscles do not get the same benefit. Think of it like watering a garden. When you are young, every drop of water soaks right into the soil and feeds the plants. As you age, the soil becomes harder, and some of that water runs off before it can be absorbed. The same thing happens with protein. Your body needs a little more, and it needs it in the right form to get the same result. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that older adults often need at least 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight each day to maintain muscle. For a 160-pound person, that is about 87 grams of protein daily. And the quality of that protein matters just as much as the amount. Here's another reason protein is so important. It helps with recovery. If you have surgery, if you are ill, or even if you just do a little extra physical activity, protein speeds up the repair of your muscles and tissues. Without enough protein, that recovery is slower, and you can lose more muscle during the healing process. I remember one patient, Mr. Harris, who came to see me after a minor fall. He was 73 years old. He had lost so much muscle over the years that even a short recovery period left him weaker than before. We worked on his protein intake, making sure he got the right amount and the right types. Within 3 months, he was stronger than he had been before his fall. He told me, "Doctor, I did not know food could make this much difference, and it can if you understand how to use it." Now, some of you might be thinking, can I just take a protein powder? The truth is, you can, but you do not have to. Many whole foods provide the same or better benefits, and they also give you vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients that powders cannot. Plus, whole foods are often cheaper and easier to find. This is where our list of 7 affordable, high-protein foods comes in. These foods have what we call high biological value, meaning your body can absorb and use the protein effectively. Some of them also contain specific amino acids like leucine, which act like a switch to turn on muscle building in older adults. Others have anti-inflammatory properties that protect your muscles from breakdown. I want you to picture this. Every time you eat one of these foods, you are not just having a meal. You are sending a signal to your body: build, repair, stay strong. That is what I want for you. And here is something else you should know. It is never too late to start. I have worked with people in their 80s who began eating more high-quality protein and saw improvements in strength, balance, and even mood. Your body can respond at any age. So now that you know why protein is so critical after 60 and how it can help you keep your independence, it is time to get specific. In the next part, I will walk you through each of the 7 foods. From good to must-have, I will explain why they work, how much they cost, and the best ways to prepare them so you get the most benefit. Before we move on, I want you to share in the comments if you have ever noticed a difference in your energy or strength when you eat more protein. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. All right, let us get into the list. We will start with a humble pantry staple that costs pennies per serving, but has been keeping people strong for generations. You are a very special person for staying with me until this point. I mean that from the heart. Thank you so much for being here, because you are still with me. I'm going to share with you some secrets that very few people know, and even fewer actually use. These are not magic pills or expensive powders. These are real foods that you can buy in almost any grocery store here in the United States. They are affordable, easy to prepare, and they work. We will go from good all the way to must-have. And remember, just adding 2 or 3 of these into your regular meals can make a big difference. So let us begin. Number 7, dried beans. When I say dried beans, I'm talking about black beans, kidney beans, navy beans, and pinto beans. These humble foods have been part of human diets for thousands of years, and for good reason. 1 cooked cup of dried beans contains about 15 grams of protein, along with fiber, potassium, magnesium, and iron. Here's why this matters for you. The protein helps build and repair muscle. The fiber supports your gut health, which improves how you absorb nutrients. The minerals, like potassium and magnesium, play a role in muscle contraction and relaxation, and the iron helps your blood carry oxygen to your muscles, giving you more endurance. Now, I know some people think beans take too long to cook, but here's my tip. Cook a big batch once a week, then freeze them in small portions. That way you can pull them out for soups, salads, or even to mash on whole grain toast. A pound of dried beans costs around $1.20 and makes about 12 servings. That is less than 10 cents per serving. You cannot beat that for value. One of my patients, Mrs. Clark, started adding half a cup of black beans to her lunch salad every day. In 3 months, She told me she felt stronger climbing stairs and less tired in the afternoons. That is the power of consistent nutrition. If you already have beans in your pantry, type ready in the comments so I know you're taking action. Number 6, Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is special because it contains both whey protein, which is fast digesting, and casein protein, which is slow digesting. This means you get an immediate boost for muscle building, plus a steady supply of amino acids for several hours. 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt has about 20 grams of protein, plus calcium for strong bones and probiotics for a healthy gut. Those probiotics are important because when your gut is healthy, you absorb more nutrients from your food, including protein. A 32-ounce container usually costs around $4 and provides 4 generous servings. You can eat it with berries for breakfast. Use it in place of sour cream on baked potatoes, or blend it into a smoothie with fruit and spinach. Research from Tufts University found that older adults who ate Greek yogurt daily improved their walking speed and leg strength over 12 weeks. I have seen this in my own patients too. The ones who add Greek yogurt to their breakfast or afternoon snack often notice they feel fuller, have better digestion, and maintain their strength more easily. If Greek yogurt is already in your fridge, let me know in the comments. Number 5, whole eggs. Eggs are one of the most complete protein sources you can eat. Each large egg has about 6 grams of high-quality protein and contains all 9 essential amino acids. But here is something many people do not know: half of that protein, along with important nutrients like vitamin D and choline, is in the yolk. That means if you throw away the yolk, you are throwing away half the benefit. A dozen eggs costs about $2.50, making each egg around 20 cents. That is a bargain for such a nutrient-dense food. And unlike some protein sources, eggs are incredibly versatile. You can scramble them, boil them, poach them, or make an omelet with vegetables. One of my favorite breakfast suggestions for patients is 2 scrambled eggs with spinach and a slice of whole grain toast. It is quick, affordable, and keeps you energized for hours. Studies from the University of Illinois show that eating whole eggs after exercise increases muscle growth by about 40% compared to egg whites alone. That is the power of the yolk. If you enjoy eggs, tell me in the comments your favorite way to prepare them. Number 4, canned tuna. You are a very special person for staying with me until now. I truly appreciate your time and your focus. Thank you for being here. And because you are still with me, I'm going to share details that most people have never heard from a doctor. Canned tuna is one of the most overlooked treasures in the grocery store. For around $1 per 5-ounce can, you get about 22 grams of high-quality, lean protein. That is less than 5 cents per gram of protein. It is convenient, it stores well, and you can use it in so many ways. What makes tuna special is its amino acid profile. It contains all 9 essential amino acids in the right balance for muscle building. It is also naturally low in fat, which makes it ideal if you are trying to increase lean muscle without adding extra body fat. Some people worry about mercury. The safest option is light tuna, which has much lower mercury levels than albacore. The FDA recommends up to 12 ounces of low mercury fish per week for adults, so you can safely include tuna a couple of times without concern. I had a patient named Mrs. Evans who was 71. She told me she never bought tuna because she thought it was emergency food. We added it to her lunch twice a week, mixed with Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise, some chopped celery, and served on whole grain crackers. 3 months later, she had more energy for her daily walks and noticed her grip strength improved. If you have a can of tuna in your pantry right now, comment tuna power below so I know you are ready to use it. Number 3, lentils. Lentils may be small, but they pack a big nutritional punch. 1 cooked cup gives you about 18 grams of protein, plus fiber, iron, and B vitamins. And here's the best part. A pound of dry lentils usually costs under $1.50, making each serving less than 20 cents. Lentils cook faster than most beans. Red lentils take about 20 minutes without soaking. Brown and green lentils hold their shape better, making them perfect for salads and side dishes. Why are lentils great for muscle building? First, they contain leucine, an amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis. Second, they help correct mild iron deficiency, which can make you feel tired and weak even before it shows up in blood tests. Third, Their anti-inflammatory compounds protect your muscles from breakdown. I remember Mr. Lewis, a 76-year-old retired teacher. He started making a simple lentil soup twice a week with onions, carrots, and a little olive oil. Within weeks, he told me, "Doctor, I feel like I have more fuel in the tank." That is what good food does. It fuels you. If you are ready to give lentils a try, type lentil boost in the comments. Number 2, cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is old-fashioned in the best way. 1 cup has about 24 grams of protein, most of it in the form of casein, which digests slowly and provides your muscles with a steady supply of amino acids for hours. A 16-ounce container costs around $2.50, and it offers about 100 grams of protein total. That is less than 3 cents per gram of protein. I often recommend cottage cheese as an evening snack. Eating it before bed allows the slow digesting casein to work overnight, during your body's natural repair phase. Research from McMaster University shows that older adults who consume casein protein before sleep gain more muscle and strength than those who do not. Mrs. Johnson, no relation to me, started eating half a cup of cottage cheese with sliced peaches at night. She said not only did she sleep better, but her morning walks felt easier. If cottage cheese is already in your fridge, comment night fuel, so I know you are ready to use it. Number 1, sardines. And now, the moment I promised you at the start, the number 1 food on our list costs less than 50 cents per serving and delivers more usable protein than many supplements that cost 20 times as much canned sardines. I know sardines are not everyone's favorite, but hear me out. A single can gives you about 23 grams of complete protein, plus omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and even calcium from the soft, edible bones. These nutrients work together to build muscle, protect your joints, and support bone health. The omega-3 fatty acids in sardines have been shown to lower inflammation and slow muscle breakdown in older adults. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who ate small, fatty fish like sardines twice a week lost significantly less muscle over 3 years compared to those who rarely ate them. Sardines are convenient, no cooking required, long shelf life, and easy to mix into salads, pasta, or even scrambled eggs. You can mash them with avocado and lemon for toast, or add them to a Caesar salad for extra protein. One of my patients, Mr. Carter, 82 years old, started eating sardines twice a week. 6 months later, his walking speed improved, and he no longer needed his cane for short trips. He told me, "I never thought a little fish could do so much." If you are willing to give sardines a chance, comment sardine strength below. You are a very special person for staying with me until this point. I truly appreciate that you have given me your time and attention. Thank you so much. And because you are still here, I'm going to share with you some practical secrets that very few people know, and even fewer actually use in their daily life. We have talked about the 7 affordable, high-protein foods. Now let us turn that list into an actual plan you can follow, a plan that works in the real world, with real schedules, real budgets, and real taste buds. The first principle is consistency. Your muscles do not grow stronger because of one high-protein meal. They respond to steady daily nutrition. That means including quality protein in every meal: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The second principle is balance. Protein works best when it is part of a meal that also includes healthy fats, fiber, and plenty of vitamins and minerals. This helps your body absorb and use the protein more effectively. So, how do we make this happen without spending a fortune? Let me give you a sample day that adds up to about 85 to 90 grams of protein for less than $10. Breakfast: 1 cup of Greek yogurt with half a cup of berries and 1 tablespoon of chopped nuts. That is about 24 grams of protein right there, plus fiber and healthy fats. Lunch: a lentil soup made with 1 cup of cooked lentils, diced carrots, onions, and celery. Serve it with a slice of whole grain bread. That is about 18 grams of protein, plus iron and fiber. Snack: 2 boiled eggs and a small apple. This gives you 12 grams of protein and a boost of vitamins. Dinner: half a cup of black beans, half a cup of brown rice, and a can of sardines served over a green salad. That adds up to more than 30 grams of protein, along with omega-3 SE, calcium, and fiber. This is just one example. You can mix and match the 7 foods in endless combinations. The key is to keep your pantry and fridge stocked with at least 3 or 4 of them at all times. That way, you're never more than a few minutes away from a muscle-building meal. One of my patients, Mrs. Bennett, told me she used to feel overwhelmed about what to eat. We made a simple chart for her fridge with breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas using these 7 foods. She said it took away the guesswork and made grocery shopping easier. 3 months later, she noticed her legs felt stronger on the stairs, and her energy lasted all day. I encourage you to try this. Choose 2 of these foods and include them in your meals this week. Write in the comments which ones you picked. Your ideas might inspire someone else who is watching right now. In the next part, I will answer some of the most common questions I hear from older adults about protein, including whether you really need supplements, how safe it is to eat eggs every day, and what to do if you're concerned about mercury in fish. These answers might surprise you. You are a very special person for staying with me until this point. I truly mean it. Thank you for being here. Your dedication tells me you care deeply about your health. And because you are still with me, I'm going to share answers to questions that very few people ask, and even fewer get the real truth about. Over the years, working with thousands of older adults across the United States, I have heard the same questions come up again and again when it comes to protein. Let us talk about 3 of the most common. Question number 1, do I need supplements to get enough protein? The short answer is no. You do not need supplements if you plan your meals well. Whole foods not only provide protein, but also vitamins, minerals, fiber, and healthy fats that powders cannot match. For example, a serving of Greek yogurt gives you protein along with calcium and probiotics. A can of sardines gives you protein plus omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin D. That said, if you struggle to eat enough protein through food alone, a high-quality protein powder can be a helpful backup. Just do not rely on it as your main source. Question number 2, is it safe to eat eggs every day? For most healthy adults, the answer is yes. The old fear that eggs cause heart disease has been largely debunked by modern research. Eggs are one of the most complete protein sources, and the yolk contains important nutrients like choline, vitamin D, and healthy fats. If you have specific health conditions such as severe high cholesterol or certain genetic disorders, you should check with your doctor. But for the majority of people over 60, eating 1 or 2 eggs daily is perfectly safe and can be very beneficial. Question number 3, what about mercury in fish? This is a valid concern, especially with larger fish like shark or swordfish. However, the canned fish on our list like light tuna and sardines are considered low in mercury. The FDA advises up to 12 ounces per week of low mercury fish is safe for adults. That is about 2 to 3 servings. Rotate your fish choices, and you will stay well within safe limits while still getting the benefits of fish protein and omega-3s. I want you to remember something important. When it comes to nutrition, context matters. If your diet is balanced, varied, and rich in whole foods, you're already ahead of the game. The people who make the biggest progress are the ones who take small, consistent actions, not the ones who chase quick fixes. One of my patients, Mr. Allen, asked me every visit if he should buy a new miracle supplement he saw advertised on television. I always told him the same thing. Let us make sure your plate is working for you before you add anything extra. 6 months later, after focusing on whole foods, he had more energy than he had felt in years. So, if you've been wondering about these questions, I hope my answers clear things up. And now, as we move into the final part, I'm going to pull everything together for you, the key takeaways, the motivation to take action, and a final encouragement to make your next meal a step toward a stronger, healthier you. Before we go there, tell me in the comments, which of these answers was most helpful for you today? Your feedback helps me know what to share in future episodes here on Lifewell Seniors. First, let me say this from my heart. Thank you for staying with me all the way to this point. Thank you for giving me your time, your attention, and your trust. And thank you for caring enough about your health to learn and take action. You are the reason I make these episodes for Lifewell Seniors. We have covered a lot today. Let us take a moment to review the 7 affordable, high-protein foods that can help you build and maintain muscle after 60. Number 7, dried beans. Number 6, Greek yogurt. Number 5, whole eggs. Number 4, canned tuna. Number 3, lentils. Number 2, cottage cheese. Number 1, sardines. Each one is more than just food. They are tools. Tools to keep your muscles strong, your energy steady, and your independence intact. The best nutrition for seniors is often the most affordable and the most overlooked. Now, I want to give you a tip that very few people talk about. This is something I have learned from years of working with older adults. Do not just count your protein grams, space them out through the day. Your muscles can only use so much protein at one time for growth and repair. If you spread your protein evenly across breakfast, lunch, and dinner, your body will make better use of every bite. I have seen patients get stronger without increasing their total protein simply by changing when they eat it. So, if you want to start today, pick 2 or 3 of these foods, add them to your meals this week, and see how you feel. Keep track of your energy, your strength, even how easy it is to do daily tasks. Small, consistent changes will add up faster than you think. Once again, thank you truly for being here with me until the very end. It tells me you are serious about your health. It tells me you are willing to learn and take action. And it tells me you are part of a small group of people who invest in themselves in this way. If you found value in today's episode, please like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to Lifewell Seniors with William Johnson so you never miss another senior wellness tip that could change your life. I would love to hear from you. In the comments, tell me which one of these 7 foods you will try first and how you plan to prepare it. Your ideas might inspire someone else who is watching right now. Until next time, keep choosing foods that build you up, keep moving every day, and keep believing that it is never too late to get stronger. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode where we will explore another simple, practical, and powerful way to protect your health and your independence